I'm gonna have you actually start sitting on your bum, and I want your feet down on the ground about hip width apart. Knees can collapse in just slightly. They're not going to be knock-kneed because that might feel weird on your back, but if you look at me from this angle, it's just like this. And you're just going to wrap your arms around your legs and then dunk your head in, round your back, and close your eyes. So basically, super chill hangout pose, right? Maybe when you're talking to your friends, minus the head dunking, right? But just bowing head consciousness to heart consciousness, or as though you're giving yourself a little hug. And this posture giving us a bit of the spaciousness through the back of the body. So notice if you can breathe into the back of your lungs, into your lower back and your kidneys, the back of your heart. And let's get the inhales longer, exhales deeper. So you inhale, you feel your back body inflating. And you exhale to feel the navel draw back and up slightly towards the heart and spine, really emptying out your breath. And with your head relaxed towards your heart, I want you to take the opportunity just to listen to the heart for a moment. And maybe there is, maybe there isn't. It's really up to you each day to discern and decide. But is there an intention for your practice today, right? Do you want to infuse this time with a little extra meaning? Maybe something that I said to open resonated and there's something there to work with or attend to. Maybe it's something you brought with you onto the mat into your practice. Maybe it's something that's arising in this moment that needs your attention. Good. And then next inhale, I want you to roll up your spine, free your arms, reach them up towards the sky. As you exhale, take your arms forward, hollow your belly, and just softly roll back a little bit so you feel your core, so about halfway or onto the sacrum. And then inhale, roll back up onto the sits bones, lengthen the spine, take your arms up. And then exhale, do that again, rolling back, hollow the belly, keep looking forward, arms reach out in front of you. One more time, breathe in deeply. And exhale softly. And then inhale, breathe in, lengthen up onto the sits bones, reach the arms up, keep that length in your spine, and just exhale your arms forward in line with the shoulders, palms face each other. And then lean back without rolling back, right? So just lean back, keeping that connection to the core, and float your feet up off the mat. And we want one of our knees bent. We're going to extend the right leg straight. So right leg straight, left knee bent. If you can't extend right leg, don't. Just keep the leg bent. It's all good. And then inhale your arms up over your head again. And then as you exhale, reach your left arm forward, right arm back. Try to keep length in your spine. And then inhale, open up, lengthen, reach up. And exhale, twist to the left. So right arm forward, left arm back. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, center. And then exhale to the right, and we're diving right in. No reprieve. Inhale, waking up the core. Exhale to the left. 2 more, breathe in. And breathe out. Try to keep that right leg nice and high, fired up. Inhale. To the left, exhale. Inhale. Keep your legs in this position. Exhale, left foot down, right leg straight on the ground. Sit back up onto the sits bones, left knee is bent. Breathe in, reach higher. And then hug your left leg with your right arm and drop your left arm behind you so you're in Vrichyasana or twist. Gaze over the left shoulder. Use your back arm like a second spine to help you sit up really tall and long. And if it feels good, close the eyes or just leave them open and look to where you'd like to go today. Open eyes, much more fierce and fiery, right? But if you're going to keep them open, that drishti, you want to focus them on an unmoving point. So your eyes aren't darting around creating stories for the mind. Good, and then inhale, take your arms up over your head. Lean back on the sits bones, keep the spine long, lift the legs back up, exhale, arms forward. Switch legs, right knee bent, left leg long, breathe in, reach your arms up. And we're going to the left, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, open. And then exhale to the right. Breathe in. Nice and strong, nice and long, exhale to the left. 2 more, breathe in. To the right. Longer inhale. To the left. Getting those hip flexors nice and strong. Inhale, supporting your lower back. Last time to the right, exhale. And then inhale, nice and long. And then exhale, left leg straight, right knee bent, sit up tall. And then hug your right leg with left arm, right hand behind you. And elongate your inhales, exhales, so they get longer, deeper, more full. And when we work with tapas, that centrification of the core, right? That building of heat, we want to feel and acknowledge the sweat, right? The burning off. And then, you know, some days we realize maybe it's from, you know, eating a little too much, or drinking a little too much, or maybe it's just the thoughts that go along with wanting to do that. So I know a lot of people are taking this opportunity to kind of do the opposite, right, than they normally would, and really dive into the work, into the feelings. And so that arises, and so it needs somewhere to go too. Take your arms up, inhale, and then lean back and lift the legs. Both knees bent, both legs straight, bow pose. Exhale, arms forward. You can hold the backs of the legs if you need to. Modify as much as you can, as much as you need to. Inhale. And then exhale, lower into half boat. So we're on the sacrum. Feet are in line with your head, right? So don't try to go too low. Try to keep the feet in line with the head. Look towards the big toes. Feel a little bit of vibration through the belly, warming up a little bit more. Discipline, right? Part of that tapas, that will, determination, cultivating through the breath, through the posture, and then let it go. Once you're laying down on your back, which you should be now, nice and relaxed, draw the right knee in towards your chest. Let's take your hands to your right leg, take a couple of deep breaths. And so we feel that balancing energy, right, of kind of that fierce and fiery, more masculine side of tapas, and then that more receptive, committed, dedicated feminine side of tapas. And really, I think of it as though you are in Aparigraha, which is a yama. So tapas is a niyama, Aparigraha is a yama. Aparigraha is like releasing or letting go. And so it's really that balancing energy of tapas, right? It has to have somewhere to go, that energy. Keep the right knee into the chest. Place your left foot on the ground. So the left knee is bent, right knee is still in towards your chest. Take your hands to the back of your head. Lift the head and shoulders up. Shoot your right leg straight out in front of you. Look at your right toes. So you're in an Ardha half boat. As you exhale, bring your left elbow and your right knee together. And then inhale to center, right leg long. And then exhale, twist over to right knee. Inhale, and just go in the rhythm of your own breath. And remember, it's not about quantity, right? We still want to move intentionally with our breath. It's still yoga. It's still our practice. So not necessarily, you know, a Pilates practice or a fitness workout, mindful movement. Do 2 more. Good, and then inhale, go nice and long through your right leg. Exhale, release the right leg down, head onto the ground. Draw the left knee into the chest, help it in with your hands. Long, deep belly breaths. So we can always, just analyze or intellectualize our practice, or we can come into the practice from a space of witnessing, right? So maybe you're like, oh my God, this is the last thing I needed today, or I was really hoping for something different, or man, I'm so excited, I just want a six-pack, right? Like, we can really intellectualize or want or analyze the practice, or create a narrative or a story around it. Let's bend the right knee, put the right foot down, hands to the back of your head. And then lift the head and shoulders up as you shoot your left leg forward. Try to press your low back into the mat. So left leg's in Ardha Navasana. And then we inhale here, and we exhale to cross, right elbow, left knee. And you just keep going like you did before, rhythm of your own breath. And sometimes, when we come into our practice, that is the tapas, that is the discipline, right? How do we stay in that witnessing place instead? How do we stay embodied? So it's less about what we're bringing with us onto the mat and more about the experience on the mat itself, right? What we're doing in the moment, how the breath is breathing. And then we can use that kind of fire, that sweat, that warmth that we're creating to, burn away any of those limiting beliefs, any of those stories, and some of them, cultivated for a really long time. So it might not happen today, and that's why we need tapas even more, right? To keep us getting onto the mat and working with what's there, creating those new neural pathways, eliminating some of the samskaras and those limiting beliefs and so on. Last two. Good. Extend the leg. Head comes down. As you exhale, both knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. And I want you to rock and roll on your spine a couple of times, and you might have to use your hands, and that's fine in a moment. I want you to come from this position right into Utkatasana. So you plant your feet, keep the knees bent, take your arms up to the sky. So we're in fierce pose. Try to get a neutralized spine slightly, so less kind of pitching of the lower back, so stronger core drawing in towards the pelvic bowl. Weight shifts back into the heels, gaze on the earth. If you can do it with your feet and knees together, give a good squeeze to your knees so you feel your glutes start to get activated and involved. And then slow the breath. Notice if there is a little bit of space to drop a bit lower and back. And then with your next exhale, fold over the legs. Lift your hips to the sky. Keep a little softness in the knees. If you need, release your head. If it doesn't feel good to fold all the way forward, don't. Just stay halfway up like a tabletop through the spine. And then as you exhale, take your feet a little further apart so they're about hip width distance. And then draw at the end of your breath your navel in to support your lower back. So you roll up, knees bent, vertebra by vertebra, just stacking them, unfurling the spine nice and slow. And once you arrive at standing, bring your hands together, heart center for a moment. Close your eyes. Cultivate a discipline of stillness, a sacred pause before you move forward and on, digesting everything you've done so far. Maybe that state of Aparigraha enters as well, right? Where we start the process of releasing, letting go, relaxing. We can get really attached to perfecting our practice, our meditation, our contemplations, the postures, our lives, whatever. So can we let that go and just have that discipline to stay in the moment? I'm going to work with namaskar for the core specifically, and so modify this however you need to make it work in your body. As you inhale, take your arms up together or apart, whatever feels better. Exhale, Utkatasana, sit back and down. Stand up, inhale, so we start here just breathing 3 times, standing long. Exhale, Utkatasana, hips back and down. One more, breathe in. And breathe out. And then we add on, inhale. This part is optional, so you can just stay in that vinyasa, exhaling up and down into Utkatasana. Stay in Utkatasana if you can, though, extra breath in. And then boat pose, so we sit down, hips on the ground, knees bent or legs straight. And then you take a deep breath and pull your chest forward through the gate of the shoulders. And exhale your feet onto the ground. With or without your hands, Utkatasana, breathe in. And then breathe out. And then you inhale to free the legs, stand up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do 2 more like that if it's possible. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, Navasana, butt down, legs up. Heart is open. Exhale, feet on the ground. Inhale, Navasana. Stay for the extra breath out. Inhale, stand tall, root and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more, breathe in. So maybe just building that fire in your Utkatasana, exhale. Stay here, or Navasana, inhale. Exhale, plant your feet. Notice there's no rush, right? We can still feel, inhale, the heat starting to rise. Exhale. Breathe in. Hands to heart, breathe out. Last one, inhale, we're just going to add on at the bottom. Exhale, Navasana, Utkatasana. Inhale, Navasana. Stay here, just like before. Exhale, left foot down, right leg straight out in front of you. So I'll move back so you can see me a little better. So just like when we started our practice, this time though, as you inhale, both arms go up. As you exhale, right hand behind you, fingers point back, and then you're gonna push into your feet. Turn your right toes down, a little wild thing. And just think about more side stretch, right? Really dipping through that right side. Rainbow through the left. And then exhale, sit down. Good. Place both feet on the ground. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, sit a little lower. Inhale, rise. Exhale, sacred pause, hands to heart. So one more, inhale. Exhale. Navasana, breathe in. Good. Right foot down, left leg straight, exhale. Inhale, arms reach. Left hand behind you, fingers point back. Exhale, pick yourself up. Try to get on the ball of your right toes. Take a full deep inhale. Long exhale. And next, exhale, sit your bum down. Left toes up, right knee bent. Inhale, both feet on the ground, arms reach, Utkatasana. Exhale. Stand up, reach up, breathe in. Pull heaven into the heart, breathe out. Close the eyes. Resist the urges. Deepen your relationship to stillness. And just notice what's at the surface, what needs your attention in this moment, right? What are you burning through? What are you working with? And remember, it can be really lighthearted too, right? That passion rekindled for your practice maybe, or for the core, this type of work. And let's open the eyes. Inhale the arms up to the sky. As you exhale, draw the navel back. Hug in as you fold towards the ground. Lift halfway up. Inhale, navel draws in, support the low back. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Just step your feet back, plant your hands. So we're going to take our left leg up towards the sky as you inhale. Bend into the knee as you exhale. Good. From there, option to stay here, just opening through the groin, through the hips. If your back is healthy, wrists are healthy, shift the weight forward. Wild thing again, so step over your right leg. We just did this, right? Open up that left arm, maybe over your head. Option to lift the pelvis if your spine is healthy, little back bend added in. And then when you exhale, right away bring your left foot forward between your hands and take your right arm up to twist. Okay, so left foot forward, left arm up. I think I said your right one. Left arm up, left foot forward. And then once you've settled into that, find your right fingertips. And if it's available for you today, you can stay on your fingertips or maybe just hover the right hand about an inch off the ground. When you do that, keep trying to pull your left hip back in space so your belly and your chest are still arching over towards left thigh. Now, from fingertips or hand floating, I want you to reach forward towards the top of the mat and take off. So your fingertips are down, right leg lifts, twisted half moon. And if you can stay in twisted half moon, you can self-adjust, make sure the hips are level, that left hip is still pointing back. Right? And then you can also do what we just did, float from your right fingertips. Right hand is going to take you into warrior two. So your right foot goes down first, and then you reverse a cartwheel and open up over that right leg. Left knee is still bent. Good. Left arm up, right hand down. Reach up to the sky, breathe in. If there's room, lean back a little bit. Exalted warrior. Soften the eyes towards your right toes. Pull the navel back, pubic bone up. And just feel into your strength. So try not to back away from it, right? Really bend into the knee. Feed some energy into your right leg. And then warrior two, breathe in. Cartwheel the hands down, forward as you exhale. Step left foot back, downward dog. Deep inhale. Long exhale. Right? Really, what we're doing ultimately through the practice is developing that dedication, that commitment to our breath, right? To the present moment. So whether we get the postures in our body or right or we're on the wrong side, it ultimately doesn't matter. As long as, we feel safe, but also as long as we're connected to that sense of self and breath, embodiment. So take your right leg up, inhale. Bend your knee and open your hip, exhale. And if it's safer to stay here, just stay here. Build that sense of power already. Or you can come into a little bit more freedom, coming forward, left shoulder over left wrist, sweep the right arm up, push into the ground, and find your expression. And it might be possible, it might not be possible. We're going to step the right foot forward, if you can, without touching your right hand down to the ground. So you come right into that twist. Right foot forward, right arm up. So be really mindful as well. Ego loves this work. It's kind of energy of the third chakra. It resides here, I like to think of, right? So find your left fingertips. That might be where you stay today. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls back, right knee stays bent. Maybe your left fingertips float. Still leaning to the right. So tapas isn't a way to fan the flames of the ego. It's a way to quiet the ego so we can stay in the practice. Because ego will convince you that you don't need this work. Especially things like meditation and pranayama. I do yoga, I'm fine. Right, you'll hear that. So left fingertips forward for the moment so you can stabilize. Left leg goes up, twisted half moon. Just self-check, right? Get your lower back. Make sure that you can feel that the hips are level so you get that nice opening from the heart and the upper back. Activate your left leg, so the more you push through your left toes, the lighter your leg's gonna get, and then maybe you float left fingertips. And then left toes touch back and down to reverse the cartwheel warrior two, so we open it up. You might have to move your stance a little wider, that's fine. Right knee is bent, left leg is long, exalted warrior. However that looks in your body today. Notice the quality of your breath. Feel into your strength, into your power. And then cartwheel the hands down, nice and slow. Downward facing dog. Take that right foot back. Long, deep breaths. Notice if you want to start fidgeting. Some of you might be going through like 1 or 2 chaturangas, upward dogs. Try to leave that out. Just be still. And breathe your breath. And really, no matter what we do in terms of postures in our practice, doesn't matter, right? The chaturangas, the upward dogs, headstands, handstands, ultimately not getting us really any closer to enlightenment. The postures are here to remind us of our power, our possibility, right? Our courage, our endurance, our capacity. Take another deep breath in. Bring your knees softly to the ground. Move your feet over to one side so you can sit on your bum and bring your legs out in front of you. Got it? From that position, take both arms up, sit up tall, just like when you started. As you exhale, hollow the belly, keep the feet down, reach the arms forward. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, super long through the spine, and then exhale. 1 more, breathe in. And this time really slow, like your spine is a string of pearls. I want you to put your vertebra down, and especially when you feel yourself start to shake, see if you can go a little slower there. And there'll be parts of the core, depending on if we've had children, for example, the type of work that we do, whatever it might be. So some are going to be a little weaker, some might be a little bit more capable. And the slower we go, the more we can find those places that need our attention. Once you're on the ground, keep your knees bent, feet on the ground, hip width apart. Hands down beside you. Push your low back into the mat and inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky. Now try to wiggle your shoulders underneath your body a bit more, so possible to interlace your fingers, press baby fingers into the mat. If this makes your elbows bend and you can't get your hands down, robot your arms instead. So you tent your fingers to the ceiling, use your heels, use your arms, and push into the ground. And then get some really deep, big belly breaths going. Try not to let your knees buckle out so you still feel your glutes, your bum cheeks firing. Posture generating heat, but so is your breath. And then next, exhale, release the hands. And once again, from the top this time though, lower the vertebra down really slow, like you're doing a sit-up, right? Like crunching in, pubic bone, hip bones forward, really uncurling the spine onto the ground. And then we're going to walk our feet off to the width of the mat, so now they're wider than the hips. And you're going to let your knees drop over to the right side. And we want to keep our feet really wide apart. So ultimately, left knee is pointing to the right long edge of your mat. And then you have the option, you can hook your right foot onto your left leg and just help it down. If it's really high up and it kind of looks like this, like in your legs are floating off the ground, don't bother. You can even put a block underneath the left knee if you wanted. Otherwise, try to push the left knee a little more towards the top of your mat so you feel an opening through your quad and probably your psoas, maybe your lower back, QL, just depends on what's going on in your body. And if you need to work a little bit more in that balancing place of Aparigraha, right, of release, relax, let go, really mindfully attending to the softening, this is a great place to stay. And if this is your first time practicing in the last 10 days, come along with me for this ride instead, okay? Hands behind your head, interlace your fingers, tuck the chin in. Instead of trying to look past to the top of your mat, just kind of look up and forward. Lift your head and shoulders up, breathe in. So when you do this, you're going to feel your left oblique starting to work. And then as you exhale, lower down. We're going to do, as many as we can in the time that I'm allotting. So you can just go with the rhythm of your own breath again, exhaling down. And if that feels like already it's a little, burn, there's a little work happening, then just stay with the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers, working up and down. If you're not feeling too much, you feel like you could go a little deeper, free your right hand and reach towards your left toes as you exhale or inhale up. Really breathing pattern up to you when you do sit-ups, I think. Do 3 more. Good, and then let it go. Once you're done your 3, hands back down beside you, head on the ground. Let your knees float back up. Going right away to the other side, knees fall over to the left. Option to take right ankle onto left ankle onto right thigh. I'm doing that a lot today, I apologize. And then just settle in. Now, and here's the tricky part too, right, is like if you did the sit-up portion on the last side, you gotta do it on this one too. Even though you might be internally convincing yourself otherwise or questioning your decision. But that's the reality of the way it works. So if you stayed relaxing on the last side, right, and you're kicking yourself for not doing them, still stay relaxing on this side. And just remember to listen to your intuition a little bit more. As long as it's intuition, not ego. Hands behind the head. And up and down a couple times. And just find a breath pattern. I like to exhale up, but it's up to you. You might have found a weaker side, so maybe already, that warmth is there, and that little bit of heat building through right obliques. If you're freeing the left arm, do the next few like that. And especially if you know you're not a fan, like myself, by the way, often, things I need to remember, relearn, reincorporate into my life is what I share. There's power in the collective, and usually as a highly sensitive person you can kind of feel what's happening in the world, what we need. Okay, but just building that capacity to withstand things that we don't like, because if you've noticed, I'm definitely in a period of I don't like this anymore when it comes to staying home and isolating and life being on hold. Right? And I kind of feel the same way about my core often when I come into this type of work. It's like a inner child. Start to feel the temper tantrum happening. Let's do 2 more. And then release. Head down, hands by your side, unhook, float the legs up, feet on the ground. If you want to do a couple times side to side like windshield wipers, feel free. You can just knock the knees in if you'd like instead. Take a breath, a break, eat. And then place one hand on your belly, the other hand on your heart. Let your eyes close, knees together, soften your lower back. Deep breaths. And from that intuitive place inside, notice what you need, not physically, but emotionally or energetically right now. Maybe it's to stay exactly where you are, just deeply connecting to yourself and your body, letting everything recalibrate and consolidate. If you'd like to do another bridge pose that we did earlier, walk your feet in, take your knees apart, lift your hips up towards the sky and just stretch out the front body. If wheel is part of your practice, spine, wrist, shoulders, everything's feeling pretty strong and healthy today. Option to take your hands back. Whatever you're choosing, we're going to take 5 breaths. So you decide the pose that you need. Keep your body healthy. Long, deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you're coming down. There's no rush. Take an extra breath if you like. And release yourself from your back bend when it feels good. Let your arms float out, palms up. Knees fall to the left. Take a twist. So you can ravel the legs, stack the knees. Really whatever you want this twist to look like works in your body and feels good this morning. Deep belly breaths. So fanning the flames. And when you're working with that fire element, I often think of the core as those old school OG wind machines that you squeeze and you pump with your hands that look like little accordions. I don't know what they're called. They have a little funnel at the front, right? And you fan the flames. It's like your belly is doing that, right? The accordion part, squishing all the tension from the abdominal organs, releasing all those psychological, immune, goodness that lives in the belly. If you ever feel too, you woke up and feel like you didn't sleep or really tired or lethargic or lazy around your practice, really nice breathing technique to pick up the practice is just elongating your inhales. So making them deeper than your exhales. So inhale for 8, exhale for 4 type of idea. Let's bring the head to center, knees to center. And then take your twist to the other side and just set it up the same way you did to the left. Nice and compassionate to your body. Deep belly breaths. And bring the head and knees back up to center. Unwind the legs if they're together. Hug the knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll again a couple times on your spine, or just roll to the side. It's up to you. And bring yourself up to sit. Once you're seated, extend your left leg long, bend the right knee, but this time instead of having the right knee point up to the sky, let it fall open to the side for Janu Shirshasana. Head to knee pose. You can stack something under the knee if you need. Inhale your arms up. Try to get those natural curves of your spine again so you feel long. From the pelvic bowl, fill your body, tip your body forward and let the head soften towards the leg or the earth. Maybe rest on a block if you need. I haven't done a lot for your hamstrings, so try not to force, right? Notice the energy in which you approach your practice and your pose. And try to remain disciplined on the breath. Notice it breathing in, breathing out. And next when you exhale, draw the navel in, support the lower back like earlier, reach your arms forward and up, strong core to rise, inhale. And we're going to take the right hand behind us like earlier, tip your fingers to the back of the mat, turn your left toes down, little flash dance moment. And if you feel good and open, release the spine, free the pelvis and the heart. And then exhale, bring your hips to the ground and switch sides. So right leg goes free, left sole of the foot, left inner thigh, hugging that heel in as close as you can. Left knee relaxes, and then inhale, sweep your arms up. Get super long, tip the pelvis forward, sits bones turn back as you pour the body down over right leg. It's not about perfection. And progress, tends to be that replacement word or energy that we inform if we're perfectionists or we're trying to, move past that more egoic energy and into that more Aparigraha, that more receptive energy, right, of progress. And there is no progress unless we continue to practice. Right? And the perfection is often what keeps us from progressing because we want to do it perfectly. And so we get hard on ourselves or down on ourselves or whatever it might be. And it keeps us from progress and trapped in that cycle of perfection. Take your navel in, support the low back, tuck the chin, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, left hand behind you, little flash dance moment, turn right toes down, lengthen, 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 or open. And then exhale, free the hips back down, and we'll cross the legs in front of us for meditation. Ooh, and then some of us said no thanks, and just turn the video off, or lay down, right, if you haven't already. These are disciplined practices, especially this part. So before we come into meditation, I'm going to give you something to do today. And this is really specifically to keep kind of fanning the flames, but in a different way. One of my favorite breath of fire is really my favorite to get that energy flowing and moving, and the way that I start my practice every day. But we're going to do something that works with that, you know, balancing those two energies I talked about at the beginning of class. So whatever hand you write with, what's your dominant hand, you're going to take your baby finger and your ring finger. It'll feel a little weird at first. But your baby finger and your ring finger, and you're going to block your left nostril. So leave your thumb up, baby finger, little finger up if you can. And just use the little finger if that just feels way too awkward, or your ring finger, or whatever. Sit up super tall. Block your left nostril, close your eyes, and inhale deeply through your right nostril. So inhale right. And then block your right nostril, exhale left. Block your left nostril, inhale right. Block right nostril, exhale left. Keep going like that, inhaling right. Exhaling left. Eyes stay closed. Softly rolled up at your third eye, that space between your eyebrows. And then as you breathe, try to get your breath and the sound very subtle and quiet. Just enough that you can hear yourself breathing. Just enough that it keeps the mind occupied. Inhaling right. Exhaling left. And just keep going in that rhythm. So when we work with Tapas, it gives us passion, purpose. It connects us to that light within. It allows us to transform any of those sharper energies like anger or rage or frustration or irritation into conscious action and creation. The energy of tapas and that cultivation allows us to perhaps feel into those beliefs about ourselves that no longer apply or work, and transform them into that energy of, you know, I'm capable, I'm willing, I'm able, I'm worthy, and so on, right? That those higher frequencies. And to be blunt, you know, there's the energy of like, let's get this shit done. It helps to move us forward. To take a stand. And have a really strong sense of self. And I urge you to keep going in this rhythm of breath, inhaling right, exhaling left. If you feel really called into that state of complete release, you know, of Aparigraha, total surrender, letting go, you can come into Shavasana. And I'm going to go quiet just to let you have that experience fully and completely, but know that I will pull you out. We do have lots of time. time you exhale, just let your hand go free. Take some deep breaths through both nostrils and sit. If you're in a Shavasana and you'd like to stay there, by all means, continue to rest. If you feel called to come back to life, do so in any way that feels right. If you want to continue resting or meditating, feel free to stop. Otherwise, we're going to meet together with the eyes closed when we're seated, hands at heart. And we'll take a moment here to seal this energy and everything created from a space of love and commitment and sense of self. And we do that either through a cleansing breath or the chant of Om, that most healing vibration. Let us inhale together. Thumbs lift to the forehead so we can honor the light and love that exists within everybody here. And bowing forward, we say namaste.